In today's episode, we are going over the hot crazy scale of millennial names.
Oh, man.
Survey results.
Wait, hot crazy?
Yeah, how hot are millennial names? How crazy are they? How do they line up on the scale?
I mean, we of course mean crazy in the classical sense, in that your boyfriend, he crazy.
He crazy. And we'll find out just how crazy each of your boyfriends are. Questions we'll answer. How hot and crazy are the top 20 most popular millennial names? How do these differ by gender? People were asked how attractive or unattractive is, and then we inserted one of the top 20 names. And then we also asked how crazy or boring is, and then we inserted one of the names. Attractiveness scale was from 1 to 10, very unattractive, to 10, extremely attractive, and 1, very boring, to 10, completely insane.
Chris, this is the one we waste almost 1,000 participants on. This is the one you wanted to get a bigger sample size for.
Yep.
Chris was weeks preceding this, months preceding this episode. Chris was like, "Oh, Joseph, I got a really big one cooking. And, yeah, you're gonna like this one." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Looking forward to it." Crazy or hot millennial name?
Hot or not?
Yeah, that's what
it's like MTV's Next or something.
That's what we wasted our budget. All right, whatever.
Yeah, this was one of the more expensive episodes. Anyways,
doesn't feel worth it. All right, let's see. We'll see.
Here were the names that we tested. So I'll list them off. Boys' names: Andrew, Anthony, Brandon, Christopher, Daniel, David, Jacob, James, John, Jonathan, Joseph, Joshua, Justin, Matthew, Michael, Nicholas, Robert, Ryan, Tyler, and William. Girls' names: Amanda, Amber, Ashley, Brittany, Danielle, Elizabeth, Emily, Hannah, Jessica, Jennifer, Kayla, Lauren, Megan, Melissa, Nicole, Rachel, Samantha, Sarah, Stephanie, Taylor. So we'll find out. How hot do people think these names are? How crazy do people think these names are?
How hot they are and how not they are.
And where do they lie on the scale? So this idea was first originated from an episode of How I Met Your Mother. Neil Patrick Harris in the episode described that women have to be on the hot, crazy scale, and they have to be hotter than they are crazy. So there's a line going up down the middle of the graph, and if they lie below the line, then they are more crazy than they are hot, and that's bad. But if they're above the line, then they're hotter than they are crazy, and that's the acceptable range. So everybody lies on this scale somewhere.
I don't think this age bill did it.
It did not.
A girl is allowed to be crazy, as long as she is equally hot. Thus, if she's this crazy, she has to be this hot. If she's this crazy, she has to be this hot. You want the girl to be above this line.
But this scale could apply to men as well.
Yes.
Like there's no reason it can't. So
yeah. It's not sexist. We're going to keep this because this could apply to any gender, whatever you represent.
Mm-hmm. I have in my notes on the slide, might cut out. I'll remind everybody of the Kiki Booba effect. This concept kind of describes how certain speech sounds have mental associations with visual shapes. So people saw these two images. There's like a sharp, kind of jaggedy shape on the left. People associated that with the word Kiki. And there's a kind of a round, curvy shape on the right. People associated that with the word booba. The effect goes so far that booba-type words or other like curvy words like booba are associated with the positive concepts, and kiki-type words or other sharp-sounding words are associated with negative concepts. It goes as far as having certain associations with first names as well. There was a study that showed individuals will pair names such as Molly, which is a booba type word, with round silhouettes, like silhouettes of the body shape. And names such as Kate, which is a Kiki type word, with sharper silhouettes. People also associated personality traits with certain names. Easygoingness is associated with round or booba names, and determination is associated with sharp or Kiki names. all of this is to say that we do have certain associations with sounds and names that extends to personality and physical characteristics. All right, so right off the bat, all of the names fall very similarly to each other. I took the averages of these scales, and for craziness and hotness, everybody revolves around like 6.5 for crazy and hotness. So these are the graphs with the full axes, and I'm going to truncate them in later slides, but I just want to show these are the full axes. This is the full picture. I don't want to be like deceptive in the graphs for anyone. But we're going to zoom in on these to see what the differences are.
I hope so. Chris, we paid $988, and
yeah, we surveyed 1,000 participants for this.
Hey, there's no very.
We surveyed 1,000 participants on how hot and crazy millennial names are, and this is what we found. Money well spent. Okay, so again, I'll do a breakdown. This is all the names. This is just everybody's boys and girls names zoomed in on. At the top, we have Samantha. Samantha is the hottest and the craziest. And at the bottom, we have John. John's the least hot and the most boring.
I really hate the study. I hate that my name's in the study. I hate that. Nothing's worse. I could be ugly. I could be ugly as a motherfucker, but boring? Boring?
Yeah, I know immediately once I pulled this graph up, you immediately were searching for your name. And you're like, where am I? Where am I? And then you saw where you were. And then you saw where you were. You're like, you know what? This is a stupid study.
This entire episode, I'm going to sour grapes like, you don't know anything about... Hold on a second. Can I list all the great Josephs? All right? Joseph Stalin. All right? Joseph Biden. Joe Biden. Joseph, father of Jesus. What the fuck?
They weren't that interesting. Maybe Stalin. Stalin was pretty crazy. I don't know about Biden.
The latter two definitely got cucked by someone in the pursuit of something. Oh, fuck me. All right.
We'll see. The hot crazy scale of millennial boy names. We're just going to look at boy names right now. We surveyed 1,000 people on how hot and crazy millennial boy names are. So, looking at this graph of 1,000 people that we surveyed, Ryan was the top hottest and almost the top craziest, kind of the top of the scales generally for hotness and craziness. At the bottom was John. And you know who's in second to last? It's Joseph.
Fucking that hurts. That hurts. First of all, fuck Ryan. Ryan was my roommate in college who was cool to me the entire year that we were in the freshman dorms together. Motherfucker. We all had to sign this document that says we cleaned our portion of the place before we vacated it. Homie forged his name, erased mine, and wrote my name. And then I got called because he didn't clean his room. And apparently it was my responsibility. So fuck you, Ryan. Fuck you. It's been 15 plus years now, and I still remember that shit to this day that someone fucked me over. Fuck you, Ryan.
You know what Ryan sounds like?
What? Like a hot guy?
A hot guy.
He was a hot guy. How can a 19-year-old have a six-pack? That's so unfair. You know, that requires development. It's just interesting that you almost like, what are you, a third? Christopher's like third to the right?
I mean, it's pretty high up
crazy.
there.
Pretty high up
there. Definitely higher than Joseph on both ends of the
1,000
scales.
Participants?
I mean, I guess if that's what the people say, I don't control the data. I just analyze the data.
Chris, I really hope you don't need this one up, man. You're doing really great in life, man. I hope you didn't run the survey to make your friend feel bad, because you're doing well right now in your life, Chris. Why must you take me down? Why?
I didn't do this on purpose. This is what 988 people said. Okay.
Fuckers. Fuck
I'm not
you,
gonna
people.
I'm not gonna control
and
the data.
Fuck Ryan.
All right. So looking at a scale of how hot are millennial boy names. This is in a list now. So Ryan, James, Nicholas, Christopher, and Michael were in the top 5 for hottest millennial boy names. Bottom 5 were Brandon, David, Joseph, John, and Robert.
Okay. All right.
And these are minor differences. It's all within like 1 point of each other. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't.
Yeah, no. Men
These
don't
are
rank
just-
each other. Men don't establish hierarchy that they sort themselves in.
Now filtered by female opinions on millennial boy names. So this is just survey participants that were female. So these are females ranking millennial boy names for how hot and crazy they are. So still kind of at the top is Ryan, but now it's kind of balanced out with like Michael and Tyler. Still kind of at the bottom is Joseph and Robert.
Man, this is rough.
Now going into the hot, crazy scale of millennial girl names. Samantha kind of ranking far at the top for hotness and kind of ranking the top in craziness, but not, fully all the way, but definitely
it's
top
pretty
the
up there.
leaderboard.
It's pretty up there, yeah.
Yeah. Samantha at the top, and kind of at the bottom, kind of like Elizabeth. And then maybe kind of Emily. Emily's a little hotter, but less crazy.
Oh, she is. Yeah,
this feels weirder. Like talking about the boys' names. I was like totally fine, but now it feels kind of weird being like
objectify.
Emily's kind of hot, but she's not that crazy. Like now I'm like, no, this feels a little weird.
This feels weird.
How hot are millennial girl names on a 1 to 10 scale? And now we're looking at it in list form. So top 5, Samantha, Nicole, Amber, Ashley, and Brittany. Bottom 5 are Amanda, Taylor, Lauren, Elizabeth, and Megan. How boring or crazy are millennial girl names on a 1 to 10 scale? 10 being crazy, 1 being boring. Top 5 are Ashley, Samantha, Kayla, Melissa, and Amber. Bottom 5 are Sarah, Jennifer, Lauren, Emily, and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is the most boring name. Ashley is the craziest.
Man, Elizabeth
again, these are small differences. These are small differences, but they are different.
Oh, we're trying really hard to make this episode interesting. We're trying really hard.
We paid so much money for this.
We have to get something from this episode. God, if you run this fucking same survey for Gen Z, it's gonna be like fucking Rilo Ken. Jesus fucking Christ, kill me.
That's why I did at first I tried I looked at census data and it was top 20 most popular names over the last 100 years. But then last 100 years, it was names
That's long.
Like Judith and Richard. I'm like, I don't know anybody who names that besides both my parents, Judith and Richard. But I'm like, that's not our audience. That's not our audience.
Sorry, Chris's mom and dad. I know you watch every episode.
But I wanted the names to be more relatable to our peers,
Even though your mom and dad do watch every episode.
I see the demographics of who listens to us. I know our age demographic. It's all millennials, okay?
It's the only ones with attention span. Am I right?
Wait, sorry, could you repeat that?
No, it's no.
Wait, sorry, no. I think your mic cut off for a second, but
no.
Just repeat that, and we'll loop in some laughter in post.
I said millennials, they don't get distracted. They don't zone out. They're the only ones that focus and pay attention to our episodes. The joke is that our age group is the one that pays attention the most and less distracted.
Now looking at male opinions on millennial girl names. So these are opinions of how hot and crazy millennial girl names are, but just from the male participants. So again, kind of similar data. Samantha's at top, but Nicole is kind of coming in at the top for very crazy, very hot. Again, it feels so weird to be talking about the female names like this. The male names, I was like, oh yeah, fucking James is, hot and crazy. Okay, and still at the bottom is Emily and Elizabeth.
But you know, it's more. We could do this because we are men. I know a man is just going through the survey and just like, fuck, Samantha,
Where's my
fuck.
name?
Samantha,
Where's
fuck.
my name?
After that, where's my name? I'm Batman.
Where's my name?
And when they get to this portion, they're like, yeah, Samantha fucked me up. I won't forget her.
Yeah.
She destroyed my whole world. I had a mortgage. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh man. Don't get me started on Nicole. Were you named after something?
No,
Did your parents like
just liked the sound of it.
Chris? I feel like I know a lot of Chris's. I feel like that's
It's a top 20 millennial name. Yeah.
It's like a default name, isn't it? It's like you got
Same with Joseph. I mean, all of the names that we're looking at, Rachel, Lauren, Megan, all of these are default names.
Yeah, but Joseph
Chris,
has
James, Ryan.
Joseph has legacy. Joseph has legacy behind it. You know
What do you
what's
mean
a Chris?
legacy? What do you mean
Like,
legacy?
I just named the big names of Joseph, Joe Biden, Joseph Stalin, Father of Jesus, Joseph.
Who the fuck discovered America, baby?
Columbus?
Say it.
Ain't no one
Say
calling
my
Christopher.
name. Say my name.
Ain't no one saying Christopher. They don't call it Christopher Day. Oh, they call it Columbus Day. That shit
What do they call him? Oh, the great Russian dictator Joseph? No.
Is that always like his name full? When you say Stalin, you say Joseph Stalin. I've always heard that.
President Joe. Joe. How do you feel about running against Trump? President Joe? President Joseph? No. That's just not what you do. Joseph. Don't be upset.
His close
The data
friends call him
shows what it
Joe.
shows. Data shows what it shows.
Fuck this data. This data makes me feel bad. Fuck this data.
money back.
988 just to make Joseph feel bad. All right.
Could you imagine if like all of this
you
was
went
just
through
to like
that effort.
gaslight you? Just slowly pecking away at your self-esteem. Oh my god, that would actually be. You would have to give me some props for that because that would be crazy.
I would. Actually, that would be the most like underhanded thing I think anyone would ever do to me.
Wow. I think you would almost feel flattered, being like, "Wow, he's
you
putting in so much effort for me."
Yeah, he's doing this much just to hurt me. My gosh,
he must
how can
care
I
a
be
lot.
mad?
So, summary of what did we learn about the hot, crazy scale of millennial names? Joseph, read these out.
Hottest millennial names: Ryan, Samantha. Craziest millennial names: Joshua and Ashley.
That's it. So, shoot your question.
Chris.
That's it. Thousand participants for this slide.
Chris, I want to walk through your emotions as you're going through this study. At the beginning, you were hyped for the survey, right? You're like, this is kind of interesting, right? I'm sure you're excited. Yeah, as you would be for most studies.
Yeah.
And as the data comes in, at one point you're just like, fuck. At what point you're just
when
like,
I saw
fuck.
this. When I saw this. When I saw all of the names clustered within a point of each other, and I was like, God damn, I wanted someone at the top, I wanted someone at the bottom. Yeah.
Would we eventually get there with a higher sample size? Like if we go through 10,000 people, we would get more of a variation, right? And eventually,
you would get more variation with more names. If you kept the exact same names and sampled more people, they'd probably stay within about this cluster. If you're still listening, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, guys.